Me famble there on a good afternoon one more time, on a good evening, on a good morning, wherever on a dinner the world. I bring plenty. I'll do canto everybody. I want to say thank you to everybody we tune in, everybody where they listen to we right now, everybody where they watch we right now. I want to say una welcome. And when I reach we on www.richardkonteh.com. Within all the social media platform them. So if you want to catch me on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, we did for all the social media platform there. So when I can catch me there on www.richardkonteh.com. Me family there when I've been done, they listen to Dr. Konteh where they talk about some of the issues that we don't they go on with we voters registration, with we election processes and all that. So we will just want for continue a little bit along the line then they because we know say some serious things then don't happen recently. We self they look say they wonder say wow who's are we the head with these elections. One of the thing and they now the recent ruling by Judge Fisher. So as usual, I will bring Dr. Konteh, make he say hello to we, and then we will go directly into some questions where Dr. Konteh go able for answer for we. Dr. Konteh, welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, Vala, thank you very much. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you did. I'm always happy for coming on this program and are available this evening again. We'll get a discussion about current issues where they happen at Salon.
Okay, so Dr. Konteh, I want to ask you. We know say people then at Salon, as well as Sierra Leonean then at the diaspora, they wonder about this whole voter verification process. Now, one of the things that we the topmost now the minds of Sierra Leonean there right now. And one of the things that we people then they wonder now that now 4 days no more than gi for the voter verification. And people then they wonder if not enough time and whether these 4 days and the process will go happen within them 4 days, then they in keeping with the other verification process that will be to happen in before, like in historically.
Well, actually, the 4 days is grossly inadequate, but not even the duration of the exhibition of the problem. Now, the magnitude of the problem where they don't create in the process. Me personally, for the past days, we done the visit exhibition centers for try for assess for myself waiting at the situation on the ground. And we don't find out, say, on a very massive scale, they don't delete so many names from the register. People then will even been vote in 2018, now not there on the register. We also see hundreds of cases wherein people their name come, their picture not come. And we also see hundreds of cases where they mix up the information. So when you see these types of things that they come out, it will only suggest, say, there's a very serious problem with the very register. It is suggest, say, the register has been compromised. It is suggest, say, the register is not credible. And therefore, if the voters register are not credible, then it cannot be used for the elections because it will undermine the credibility of the entire electoral process. Now, I mean, we in the APC don't call for a forensic audit of the voters register because for expose lose confidence in the voters register. It don't succeed for expose the incompetence of the electoral commission, and it don't expose the attempts what they make for fraudulently rig the elections and get elected. Fraudulently.
Dr. Konteh, please, if I can ask you, if you can back up a little bit, you talk say because of the massive deletions and because of the plenty error them, where some people in picture they appear, but their name then they appear, but in picture they not they appear, that there were massive deletions and therefore it make the voter registration not credible. And then you talk say, and that make APC don't call for a forensic audit. Now they will lost you small with the connection.
Yes, I say the voters register is not credible because they don't delete so many names, they don't delete so many pictures, and they don't mix up a lot of information on the register. So therefore, such a register, they undermine the entire electoral process, and therefore cannot produce a credible election. So we therefore in the APC, they call for a forensic audit of the voters register.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Make a continue along that line of questioning, because we know say Sierra Leonean they really worry about, you know, the kind underhand tactics where they see, and they think say they go on, especially with this pauper regime.
The cost problem.
For undermine the election process, for undermine the voter registration, for undermine the voter verification, all of them thing and they. We will not say before them begin that midterm census. This current government been talk say the reason we didn't want do them now for address anomalies and difficulties and errors in the 2015 census. But when they do that process we see an incredible amount of unreliability with the whole midterm census. Now, we they see always we they see so even beyond this controversy surrounding all the process there, all the blatant mistakes then where we they see, I go call them mistakes for being nice. Waiting you see as the fate of APC going into elections at this point, especially where this verification process don't become so, I mean, it don't prove, say, it not reliable, it not trustworthy. How we as a party will enter elections under this kind of condition?
Sincerely, we cannot enter into such an election and get confidence in the process. Because, you can win an election or lose an election by just one vote. So if we get hundreds of thousands of voters deleted from the voters register, if we get the data for the elections jumbled up in this way, then it means even the cards we then get for produce get problems. And we not see how you go.
My family, they look like say we get a little bit of connection problems. We know say well, something maybe we not know now that Dr. Konteh not they fit on right now. And so the connection na other parts of the country not as good as Freetown. And so that make we get some difficulties with in response. But as soon as don't hear it don't tell we say there've been plenty deletions where then pull people their name, then catch people their name come on at the registry. And they mix up people their information. Then go show person in picture, na different name they, or then show name picture not they. So boku mix up with information, people the information they, and then people then will even been vote na 2018 election. Some pan then they don't pull the name. So they tell we say this voter registry is not trustworthy. We can't use them as party, as APC. If na that voter registry, they no more with the ABOPAN, say then people are waiting and register na this registry. Now then get for vote, then we don't wear them. So the APC come together, the stakeholder them, and then decide for ask for audit. That's when they say audit stand for just check, go back and check if the name the way they write the now real people them, if not to diamond name them, if not to underage name them, if not to any kind cook. So they don't ask for let them go double check this voter registry. And if they do that one day, it go help we as a party. So after that, now ask and say, I say, well, you know, them don't talk say midterm census for address all mistake pan voter registry with them in do 2015 census. They may not talk back say the this midterm census where then they do them, then go make sure say all the mistake they will don't make before all them go pull them. But where then do the midterm census, we say the Yagba and the mistake them in Boku self pass the 2015 population census where them we do. So now they ask Dr. Konteh, I say, under this kind of circumstance, how we as APC party go inside election where we know say if they don't pull the name of the people that we supposed for vote, including the one that way some there we been vote last election. Now this election suddenly the name no day na the voter registry, which means to say they're not going to vote. How then we go able for ensure say as a party we own people then we want vote for we then name them body. So now the question that way I asked Dr. Konteh we he begin answer and then the thing disconnect. But also I begin answer is say, well, definitely as a party, we can't use that voter registry day. And for let we get proper representation, for let we own people that we want votes for we grassroots, take our up now to the stakeholder them. We want vote APC, then get for make sure say they all name they na this voter registry so that they not go stop them by we then go na polling station for go vote. So now they begin talk when it's in court. So me fumble them. Are they able to say we go able for connect back? If we're not able for connect back, then I go invite una for make una join we back next week. Let we look back this question. Say with all this boku yagba who we don't see around this voter registration, waiting will happen for we party. Dr. Konteh, welcome back, sir.
Yes, my dear, thank you. The network is seem for the give you some problems today.
Yeah. Dr. Konteh, I still get the same question for you. I've been asked about, you know, with all the difficulties where we don't see all the problems with the all the different methods that we don't try for use for register voters and verify voters, how we as a party go fair if we go into an election under this kind of condition?
We're not going to fare well at all because, you know, election that first past the post, especially for the presidential, which means you can win or lose by just one vote. And that is the case, and we get a situation wherein we get hundreds of thousands of votes, where potential votes, where they don't delete from the system, then it's very worrisome. We get situations wherein chairmen of constituencies, they don't go for the go check or go verify, the names do not appear. We don't get members of parliament, they don't go, the names do not appear. We don't get elders, they don't go. Families, they don't go. The entire names are not there. We don't receive reports from all over the north, northwest, and western regions where they raise the same concerns. Everything make it even more worrisome now because, you know, these problems, they only become greatest in the areas where traditionally are strongholds of the APC, and less so in the areas where are strongholds of the SLPP. And if you, they seem like it's a pattern, because in the last registration process, we see again how they make deliberate attempts for suppress the registration in areas where they feel say the strongholds of the opposition. And now, even after we don't endure that process, we don't come again now for the exhibition. First of all, they make the process very short. Two, they're not consistent. In some areas, they display the register. In other areas, they display the register. Three, that they come with 2 or 3 booklets. They say they don't come for car. When people then complain, they agitate, they go bring more. And for the forms, the way they're supposed for use for do corrections, for inclusion and those type of things, not available. 5, the staff we're supposed for dinner at the centers, they're not there. Even some centers that will go, instead of 3 people, you go meet 2 people, you go meet 1 person. They say the other person don't come out, the other person don't go. It's very unprofessional, and we not think say and it's precedented. It never happened, and this we don't get serious doubts about the entire voters register. And for we believe say 1, this the border on an attempt for rig the elections, and 2, it the border on gross incompetence in terms of their ability. And we know say they will do a recent reshuffle. Now the Electoral Commission where they shift people them around, people that will be experienced, Sabia for handle these things, they be occupy certain positions. Therefore, whatever misconceptions where they get about those people, they remove them and replace them with people that way they feel say they can manipulate. And now this ability will be very, very serious. A very, very serious issue, and we just wonder what thing will happen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh, for throwing light on this process and implications for the APC party. Let us shift gears a little bit for ask you a little bit about the recent rulings of Justice Fisher. We know say then will get serious implications for the party, and it can impact the party in many different ways. So I just want to ask you if you can and maybe identify for the audience some of the area then we get potential for impact with party very significantly.
Well, the most critical area we get for impact how this process will move forward on the area of membership cards. It don't clear to we that the voters or the membership register where the party supposed for getting credible. The one register, one database gets 63,000, another database get 8,400. Which one we for trust, only God knows. So the entire voters, the membership records where they get at the party not credible, and we get so many people then we want membership cards, they pay for membership cards, they not get them. And now in the next week or 2, on the 5th of December, we forgo into lower level elections. If they insist on using party membership cards as a qualification for vote, then it means they will exclude a large number of the party membership from the process. So we hope, say, therefore, that the precedent will be set in the run-up to the convention for adopt the constitution, where we get open primaries, where people then we get membership card, we use them, but when they will not get them, we use the voter card plus identification by elders within the community. We use that method for let we go through the lower level elections, whilst the 5-man committee go to continue the registration. So by the time we get to the convention proper for elect national officers and the flag bearer, all man when a delegate we don't get in party membership card fully paid up for able for meet with the daunting task when they get forget at that level. So that is one issue where I believe say we still not able to grapple with that issue yet. The second issue where I believe say we need for deal with the issue of funding for this entire process. It's still not very clear how the TIIEMC will fund this process. judging from the fact that, from all indications with the resource is not laid down inside the party for finance type of operations. So how will the TIMC go about it for able to mobilize the resources within the short space of time we then get for able to execute these processes? So these challenges still they linger and are curious for know how they hope for overcome them. The good side for me, however, is the fact that at least now we get a date, or we get dates. Now we know, say, then we start registration on the elections for lower level on the 5th, and then we end on the 19th, and then get up to the 29th of January for conduct elections. For now, we get with national officers in place, and then we get with flag bearers. So that as a party, we will begin position ourselves now for the elections in June 2027. So that for me are the positive side of the ruling, and I'm also happy that this time the judge don't maybe prescribe certain lines of action where go help for ensure, say, the ITGC they work together and help for deliver to the people waiting, the people that they desire from them. So that is how I look at these things. Two shortcomings or two challenges I feel say we need to overcome, and two things where I feel say positive out of the thing where we go move with forward. There are a few other issues, but nothing say those issues they're too critical at the moment. These ones what I mentioned are the most critical.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Konteh. You don't shed some light for make people they understand. We get highlight to we not get credible voter records, so therefore other alternatives can be put in place as for allow people then for identify themselves using either the voter card and the member card, and then as that they go on, then continue for do proper voter registration, so that by a convention we go able to get a more credible database, which is really good. I've been just want to ask another question.
Registration.
For the membership registration.
Lot of mix up with the voters register where they go.
I want to ask another question where concern the one of the ruling with Justice Fisher. And I just want to talk about the commission for be a part of the meeting them for the APC Party. And I wonder, in light of the case will be there before Justice Fisher, which was contempt complaint. I wonder how this come into play. How did the judgment for having a peace commission witness or be part of APC meetings come into play with respect to a contempt complaint that was before the court? I did try to see how that be. But of you I understand why can I come into play.
Valda, you can even start for ask why we allow the court for take decisions for APC. Why can't we as APCians be able to take our own decisions? Why not the court get for decide for we? I think the problem starts.
Doc, if you're hearing me, you're breaking up. Maybe try turning your camera off. Okay, maybe I'm just a try for see if we can
so
contact
as I say,
again.
the first issue now where we allow in the first instance for make the court be the one the way they decide for we. It just start like then give you paper to your mama inmate for mark paper for you. What do you expect? You don't expect the best out of that situation. That is where the problem starts. The second issue now that we find ourselves in a situation wherein many problems being they come around the functioning of the ITGC, even after the contempt charges, they don't go now court and they try to process them. I remember I attend a meeting with the PPRC chairman, and in that meeting, the PPRC chairman being get for tell we say, he go personally plead with the judge for make he ensure say all the outstanding issues where they linger around the party, where they impede with chances for progress to convention, make them deal with them once and for all, even including issues that were not expressly there before the judge for deal with. So, and in the ruling of the judge, he also states say even he, as a judge, he gets the power where necessary for intervene in some of these issues. And I believe say now that don't happen. It's unfortunate for say the Peace Commission get for the sitting. So now as a political party, we not get secret again. We don't get things that we go internal to we. But I hope so this is just for a period until the 29th of January when we will get we own flag bearer, and then all of this will become history. And I believe say, as a party, we go galvanize we efforts together and we go see how we can move forward for try for rebuild with party and reposition them for retake power from the SLPP on the 24th of June next year. Hello.